Is that a Blox Hi-Flo header? Ooh, very nice. It's gonna fit right well, and we're gonna show you more exhaust technology and approach and theories and all the other parts. We will talk about the pairing of this 421 header, the length, and also all the other details, including the choke and taper towards the collector. Looks good, eh? Alright, as some of the parts arrived, here we are with the main components. The CRV B20 head gasket just got in, and also the Speed Factory cam plug, and the Skunk 2 lost motion assembly, which are springs, and we'll talk about that. The Supertech valve spring and retainer. It's an SPR H100DR spring, and that's usually reserved for turbo application, but it's not too stiff, so we'll talk about it and why we choose to run this. All right, and this we'll check on first. Let's go. Now on to the lost motion assembly. Let's get a scissor and open this package up. All right, let's cut it off, or cut it open. Sorry. Okay. And you can see it's just a spring, but it's all right, you know. By the way, the Honda NSX uses the same kind or design lost motion assembly like this. So hey, we know it works, right? And this is the factory one. What we're trying to show you here is that the lost motion assembly for the factory has the spring inside, and basically it's like a container, you know? So when the low cam is activated and the VTEC is not, it tries to hold the VTEC rocker arm steady, and you see the hole, and comes with the oil from under. So when you're on idle and the VTEC rocker arm is just swinging, it's not gonna be that raspy as far as sound goes, because the lost motion assembly from the factory is filled with oil. So it's kind of like a shock absorber compared to the spring. Okay, here we're gonna try to show you how the rocker arms are on idle, the primary and secondary, and this is where the lost motion rests on the VTEC rocker arm, like that. So imagine when you're on idle, you're not in VTEC, without the lost motion, the VTEC rocker arm will just keep flapping around, you know? So that's the noise that we hear, that we think it's needing lash adjustments or tappets, but it's mostly because of the lost motion. There's probably like a gap as much as a valve clearance, you know, like let's say 0.007 or 0.008, and we're gonna hear that on idle. But when you change to an aftermarket lost motion assembly like the spring, see, that's how it is on idle. When you change to a lost motion assembly that's aftermarket like the spring, it doesn't contain oil on the inside, so it's not necessarily like a sort of a shock absorber like the factory one. So it will sound a little bit more raspy on idle, or it will sound like it has worn out lost motion assemblies. But It's not worn out, and it's much safer and better when you run Pro 2 cams or especially Pro 3 cams because it has more lift. And with more lift, that means your VTEC rocker arm is pushing more. And you can see the factory lost motion assembly doesn't look like it has that much allowance for lift. I mean, it works on the Pro 3, but it's always on the limit. So I'd rather go with the spring. Now here it is. We lay the two lost motion assemblies together. On the left is the OEM and on the right is the Skunk 2. And you can see just by visualizing or actually by just looking at them, you know the Skunk 2 lost motion assembly can tolerate more lift. Well, because obviously you can't fit a better or bigger spring inside that factory container, right? So if you're running big cams, the spring version is a lot safer and better. Now here we go with the valve train, the valve spring and retainer kit. We like to use Supertech, which is SPRK H100DR. That has 85 pounds at 33.5 mm installed height, and open lift is 225 pounds at 11.8 millimeters. They say this is for turbo, or at least used to say this is for turbo, but it's what we've always used since day one. It actually is the same set that runs on Jasper, who owns ECU later on his EF for more than 4 years, and his rev limit is set at 9,700 RPMs. No trailer, and he actually drives it on the weekends all around. He actually test drives it on a dig with his K24 engined friend on the hatchback, and trust me, it makes a run for its money because ECU Later's EF, the B20 VTEC, holds its own. And you can click here for more of his runs. Not saying the K24 EG hatchback doesn't make power, that's beside the point. And plus, we didn't build that. It's just that for 9,700 RPMs, a street car, this valve train is good enough for you. Even if I was to build one, I would run the same exact valve train. Meanwhile, at the shop, while we build the B20, the Mini-Me owner brought a ZC block to refresh to put on his car. And you can click here when he was a D15 B7. And this is supposed to be a secret, so let's just keep it between me and you. We also ported the Skunk 2 intake manifold for an H22. It's gonna be welded, and you gotta subscribe and hit the bell to know when we upload it. A fellow also brought in his B08 D15 manifold to have the throttle matched to a 60mm B16 throttle. And of course, we added a bit of touch up, like smoothing the intake ports a bit, but not too much that it changes the match port from the factory. We figure we'd do this extra work for a small fee to help the DIY guys, and it helps the sport grow even more. We're also building a B20 VTEC with Supertech pistons that's gonna be extremely powerful. Now let's go to the Blox Hi-Flo header. Now here we are unboxing, unwrapping the Blox Hi-Flo header. The craftsmanship is really good, and we're gonna test fit it on the engine because it's on the stand. There you go. It actually looks really good. And you know what's the cool thing about this is it's Larry Widmer's favorite pairing. He is the starter or the pioneer of Endyne. Now you can see here, when you run it on a B16 short block, it's gonna be ground clearance nightmare. As you can see here, our firing sequence to our B series is 1, 3, and then 4, and then 2. So it's 1, 3, 4, 2. And you look at the pairing, it's in sequence. It's 1, then fires number 2, 3, and then 4, and 2. This is what I call sequential pairing. It's in sequence to the firing order. And that actually gives an improvement or a benefit in the scavenging properties. It's as good as a 4-into-1, better than the other 4-to-1 pairing. But the problem with that is with this kind of sequential pairing, you gotta run the primaries almost as long as a 4-into-1 header. And we're gonna show you now. You'll see. Our reason for sharing this is because we have a TIG welder and we plan to develop our own exhaust really soon. So 2022, you might see us develop our own headers, and who knows, we might actually start offering it to the market. Now here we talk about steps or stepped. It steps into a bigger size each time or each way. Steps from here, and then again for the third time it takes a step bigger at the bottom or towards the end. This is because, as we all know, exhaust, as it cools down, it flows slower or less, and so to minimize back pressure you gotta enlarge it a bit, so it's consistent. Now, bear with me for a moment here and try to visualize what I'm trying to say. Imagine the exhaust pulse comes out and travels all the way here, all the way to the collector. We say pulse because each firing order is one pulse. Before it gets there, by the time it's here or here, the number 3 is gonna fire. And as it goes down, it's like when you've siphoned fuel into a can, it takes just a moment or a few times of sucking or vacuum before it starts pulling the rest of the fuel. And that's called scavenging. Not that I've siphoned fuel before. Well, I have from my Beetle or my dad's Beetle. And you can see here it's 2.2 to 2.5. So it actually still promotes airspeed to get out to scavenge. And this is why Larry Widmer prefers this pairing. And you can see here it's that long, But of course, a 4-into-1 is still a lot better, but it gives packaging problems or ground clearance unless you're gonna do a hood exit. But of course, once we start doing our own header design, we will document every step here and let you in on the adventure, of course. And so it's time to build the engine, so you can click here when we're finished with the next episode. But for now, we're going to include some technical stuff for you to enjoy. You want to subscribe.